Tweaktown's GDC 2016 coverage is brought to you by NVIDIA. AMD's Capsaicin event at GDC 2016 this year was a huge deal for the company. AMD not only unveiled their new dual GPU, the Radeon Pro Duo, but they also teased their massive push for virtual reality, their massive push into the world of Polaris, which is coming out later this year, and a huge teaser of their future GPU roadmap. So starting off with the Radeon Pro Duo, it's a dual GPU based on the Fiji architecture, which is something that was unveiled last year and has been in 3 GPUs so far. The Radeon R9 Nano, the Radeon R9 Fury, and the Radeon R9 Fury X. The Radeon Pro Duo is a totally professional and VR-based card, but will also be sold to enthusiasts with a price of $1,499 US. It's expensive, but it is a single card solution for true enthusiasts, developers, and virtual reality headsets. It has massive amounts of performance, but I felt that it's limited by its 8GB of HBM RAM. We're only talking HBM1 here, so we have 512 GB a second of bandwidth, but considering that the Radeon R9 Fury X only has 4GB, we were only going to see in all reality a card that has 4GB of HBM per GPU. The amount of demos AMD had running at the event were quite extensive. They were showing off the HDR abilities of the Polaris architecture, with various displays showing off the high dynamic range that will be delivered later this year with the Polaris architecture. AMD had the Polaris 10 GPU running at the Capsaicin event. It was only demoed running at 1080p against the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 950 with a power consumption of about 85 watts average versus close to double that from NVIDIA, which is averaging at about 140 watts, 150 watts for the GTX 950. One thing that I noticed with AMD is they're very VR focused. It's not saying that NVIDIA isn't VR focused, but AMD seem to have gone all in with VR. It's something that's absolutely great to see with Radeon Technologies Group pushing into virtual reality as fast and as much as they can, and with the enthusiasm that they have behind it. This is all thanks to Roy Taylor, who has seen the future of virtual reality, and he has seen that virtual reality is going to be absolutely huge over the next couple of years. And AMD are right at the forefront of that with technology that's ready, future GPUs that are ready, development in virtual reality, in software and in hardware, and then the partnerships that they've secured. AMD is now partnering up with Crytek directly, so we should see huge things coming from AMD and Crytek in the near future. But I'm more excited about Polaris. I'm sure that you are too. Polaris is going to be a huge, efficient GPU. We're looking at 14 nanometer FinFET process with HBM2. So we're looking at having a brand new GPU, a brand new set of HBM2 memory, but we're most likely going to see them split into 2. I think that we're going to see video cards based on the Polaris architecture with GDDR5X and HBM2. The mid-range parts that are most likely under $300 or $400 will probably fall into the GDDR5X category, and all of the enthusiast cards above that will be HBM2. But, warning, there will be low yields on HBM2. Everything that I've heard within the industry, the yields on HBM2 are super low, so we should expect that there will be 1, low numbers on the high-end enthusiast Polaris parts, and 2, there's going to be a very expensive price tag on any of those cards. We won't know anything until June or July when AMD unveils its Polaris architecture, but we can be sure that it's going to blow us all away, you, me, and everyone else. We have no idea what's coming, and that's an exciting thing. This is the one time where the GPU industry is going to unleash nearly 3 or 4 things at once, where we have a node shift from 28nm, which we've been on for just over 5 years now, and we're going to be shrinking down to 14nm with AMD and 16nm with NVIDIA. And then we're going to be looking at HBM2, which has memory bandwidth of just over 1 terabytes per second compared to the 512 gigabytes a second of GDDR5. And then we're looking at new architectures in the form of Polaris and Pascal. Keep Tweaktown on your subscribe list for YouTube. We will be delivering the best GPU coverage that you can imagine.